Hello, you beautiful black motherfuckers. Welcome to the very first episode of Honestly Sis TV. Honestly Sis TV was created for people who are really trying to get their shit together. I reveal the realness of my journey because in a world full of filters, it is time for something real. Welcome. My name is Honest Am. I am the editor-in-chief of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter about life, love, and relationships. And this is an extension of that. Welcome. All right, guys. Cliff Note version about me. My name is Amber C. Stillman. I am a graduate of the Hampton University. I am a project accountant by day, writer by night. And I've been working on a murder mystery for the past 5 years. In the process of working on that murder mystery, I have started to learn different things. And it's kind of stuff that I wish that I knew. So Honestly Sis pretty much is what I wish that people would have told me. I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. Like, I am literally just somebody who is telling you what I'm going through. And I just hope that it helps you guys out. So the Cliff, I told you guys a little bit about me. If you really want to get some more information about me, I really urge you to check out ambercstillman.com. Click on that Honest Am tab. It'll give you a good little background about me, what my mission is, what I'm trying to do, and what I just hope to achieve. Or if you go ahead and subscribe to Honestly Sis, which is, you can click the link on my bio and it'll take you there. If you click on that, you will be able to read the very first newsletter that says, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, because guys, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I am literally just going with the flow, and just doing stuff as I feel inspired. So not trying to be anybody, not trying to be Ivanla or anybody too deep. And I know I probably killed her name. Let's just do some house cleaning. Let's just do some protocols. I am going to butcher words. I'm sorry, I just am. I am working on that. I'm going to mispronounce it. But you know what, damn it? If it didn't stop Charlemagne, it's not going to stop me, damn it. So there we go. Just take it like that, okay? I'm going to butcher it. And I just ask that, you just be open-minded. If anything has helped you or you thought that something was cool, please let me know. Because, that makes me happy and it makes me feel better. And then is there something that or you have any tips? I am always happy to hear that. I'm always happy to have that. And honestly, sis, we are also always open to hear stories. So if you have a personal story about, say, if you overcame something or I don't know, shit. We just had one about a one-night stand. So you can honestly talk about anything. But if you are interested in that as well, I'll urge you to still go back to ambercstillman.com, or you can go ahead and send me an email at info@ambercstillman.com. So now that I got all that out the way, let's talk about what we are here for today. So today I'm going to talk about how we can stop counting ourselves out before we even start things, the power of standing up for yourself and speaking truth, and remembering that emotions are our friends, not our enemies. Now, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest and real. This is about my third time trying to do this. You YouTube bitches, y'all make this look so easy, and it is not easy at all. So, yeah. It's not easy at all. So if I mess up, just know, this is my first time doing it. Don't be over here this bitch. I have incense burning. I did some little saging. And I'm just going to go ahead and just set the tone and just say, dear Heavenly Father, dear Spirit, I just ask that if there's anything that you want to get across or you wish for me to say, just please use me as a vessel. Thank you so much. Y'all, we gonna have a good time tonight. All right. I'm not stopping this. I don't care what happened after this recording. I'm not recording again. So, guys, if my dog act crazy, if I don't know, I don't care what happens. I'm not gonna stop recording. This is just gonna be the first episode, and it just is what it is. Okay. All right. So the very first thing I'm going to talk about is how we can stop counting ourselves out before we even start. So this is something that I recognized that I did last week. Now, as I was telling you guys, like a part of my journey, like I've really been trying to like pay more attention to my triggers and like just notice my behavior. And trust me, it has taken a lot of energy healing and clearing and all that stuff to get to this place to where I can even recognize it. But last week there was this job posting that I saw on Twitter, and I looked at it and I was like, oh wow, this is cool. I read it and then I was just like, not for me. Like literally just clicked it on off, didn't think about it again. But then like a couple of hours later, I just kept like, I kept thinking about it like, damn, that was like a really cool job. And so something just told me like, go back and look at that one more time. So I went back to go look at it and I was just like, you know what? Like, I think I can do this. Like, I think I can do this job. And by the time I like started to do the cover letter, I was just like, oh, this is my motherfucking job. Like, I just claimed it. And I just thought like, wow, like that is so cool. Like by the time I did the cover letter, it really showed me like how qualified I am for this job. And I just was like, what in the world was that? Like, what was that in me that was just like, no, that's not for you. Like I literally read the job description and was like, nope. And I just think about like, if I have not been like working on myself and like paying more attention to those type of things, like how many things have I done that to? I think we all do that. Like we all see stuff and we're just like, nope, that sounds nice or that would be good for somebody else. But I think we got to just stop counting ourselves out. Like, honestly, what is it going to hurt for me to submit my application? Like, it's not going to be a big fucking deal. Like, nobody's going to know except for you guys now. But it's like, I think sometimes we make these moments like be so much bigger than what they have to be. Like we think that it's going to be like a crowd of people are going to come run out and be like, you failed, but it's not going to happen. And honestly, what it really was is that I have been applying for so much stuff and I haven't been getting it that I kind of have, I kind of was just hurt. Like I didn't want my feelings hurt anymore. I was just like, look, God, like I don't want my feelings hurt. Like I'm tired of applying for all this stuff and not getting it. But then it was just this, I don't know, it was just something in me that was just like, you know what, fuck that. Like, what's the worst is it gonna hurt for me to submit my application? And by the time I submitted my application, I was just like, you know what, that's my motherfucking job. Like, I'm gonna get that job. So I just think that the key takeaway is that even when you have, like, I think the first thing that we can do is, or at least I know what I'm going to do, is that the moment that I see something and I automatically say nope to it, or I say that's not for me, I'm going to go ahead and just double back and just look at it again or really think about why isn't it not for me. So my brother, it's so funny, my brother had actually called me early. I mean, he texted me yesterday and he asked me like, how do you know if something is real? Like, how do you know if like you're making the right decision? And I told him about this, you got to do the is it true test. So in this case, you will do like, okay, so say that you're applying for a job or whatever. And you like, oh, nope, I'm not qualified for that. So say for my example, I just was like, nope, that's not my job. I can't apply for that. But then when I went back and looked over it, I had to do the is it true test. Like there was nothing in there about what type of degree you were supposed to have. There was nothing in there talking about the number of experience you need to have. Like it was literally the perfect job description for me. But there was something in me initially that just canceled that out. Like, have that happened to you before? Like, anyways. So but then this is the other thing. So I told you that eventually, like, I started feeling confident and I said, you know what, that is my job. But guess what? That's not going to happen all the time. The thing is, like, we have to move and we have to do things even if it makes us scared. Like, even if we're nervous, like, you have to move scared sometimes. Like, it's just going to happen. Like, I'm doing this scared. Like, I don't know what's going to come of this. I don't even know if I'm going to do this next week. But guess what? I'm going to do it because right now I feel called to do it. And I'm doing it. So that's how we all have to just move. So the is it true test. So whenever you have those moments that you immediately am like, nope, I can't do this, or nope, that's not for me, I want you to stop and be like, why isn't it for you? And then you're going to give yourself these list of reasons like, well, because it's not for me, because, well, for me, I had to literally go back and say, okay, it was for me. But this can happen for, like, say if you say, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but you say, no, it's not for me. And it's like, why isn't it for me? Well, because I don't really know how to do YouTube. But like, is that true? Like, you can figure that out. Like, everybody can figure out how to do YouTube. Like, you like, well, I'm nervous what people will think of me. Who are these people that are going to think this of you? The people you went to school with? Do you care about what those people who you went to school with? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you gotta kind of like boss yourself up. Like, you kind of gotta remind yourself, like, bitch, you can do this. Like, you really have to like really hype yourself up. And a really good example of this is I had oh shit, no, this isn't. A really good example of hyping yourself up is Insecure. Like, think about those Issa episodes and how she be in the mirror and she's like, yes, bitch, you got this, and you this. Like, you know, you may not have to be in your mirror, but you can be like looking at a job description, or you could be in your desk, or you can say to yourself, like, girl, get it together. You got this. You can figure it out. Another thing that you guys that will kind of help you to understand this a little bit more is I have an article on Honestly Sis that says, like, why do you keep talking yourself out of shit? Like, I just think it's just a thing that everybody does. I think in those moments you have to start asking yourself, like, why? Like, why am I like immediately saying no to this thing? A TV show that I think gives a really good example of somebody like talking their self out of something before they even try it. I don't know if you guys have started watching Boomerang. It's the new show on BET. And Simone, which is kind of the main character, she left her job with her dad agency, and she's just so, she's so proud of herself for leaving her job. But it's like, in the same breath, she's still doing all these things that's connected to her dad job. So it's like, is she even really trying? That's how I look at it. And I think that's why she keep finding herself like in these little weird patterns. Like, I don't know if it's bad writing or what, but I feel like she's not really trying. Like, she's not really taking a true leap of faith because she's still holding on to the blanket. So I don't know if that made sense, but take it as you will. Okay. So the next thing is the power of speaking up and standing in your power. So last year I have been like, actually for these last 2 years, I have just really been trying to, how I've been trying to honor my feelings. Like, if I go somewhere and I don't feel it and it's not making me happy, or I feel like it's a drain to me, I have been trying to cut that shit off. Like, I don't care if it is family, friends, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I just have been trying to just honor my feelings. And if I'm not feeling something, I'm not feeling it. But it's a little harder when it comes to your family. Like, you just can't be like, mama, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Like, you just can't do that. So recently I wrote these letters. I wrote letters to like some very important people in my life. And I was just like, pretty much just letting them know how I feel, letting them know how they had made me feel. Just really like trying to clear the air, letting them know what I want from them. And as scary as it was to send these letters, like, I'm going to be honest, like, the letter to my dad, I was so scared to send this letter to my dad. Like, I was so scared. I was like texting my brother, and he's like, email it to him. I'm like, no, I don't want to email it to him. Like, that's too immediate. Like, I mailed it to him, and like, I still was scared, but I still had to do it anyway. Like, there was just no way that I couldn't, I had to let it out. And guess what ended up happening? Like, my dad called and like really talked to me, and he like apologized and said he loved me. And like, now our relationship is like, we're really like working on it. And I think like, think about it, like, if I would have never said anything, we would have never got to this point. And then another thing that happened was like something at my job happened. And I was just so like, I've been at this job for to me a reasonable amount of time, and like lately, at first I thought I like had this super gravy job. I'm like, this is cool. I can do this. Like it's the perfect job for me. But lately it was like really starting to drain on my emotions, and like I just got this feeling that I had to like speak up. Like I had to really go speak to upper management and like tell them like what was going on in the office. And I just kept battling with myself because I was just like, God, I don't want to do that. Like I literally was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, cause I'm like, God, I don't want this job. Like, I just felt like in my mind, I felt like if I spoke up, it was me like trying to take this leadership position and me, like trying to take this initiative. And I selfishly didn't want to do that. Like I really did not want to step up and like tell these people like what was going on in the office. But I have a coworker that I work with very closely, and I love this lady. Like that's my heart. And like I realized like it was really weighing on her. So, and then I just always have this thing in my mind that you're supposed to leave a place better than what you came in with. Like that's just the goal. Like you leave it better than what you came in. So I was doing all that. I was battling, and I kept seeing like how it was affecting her. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to speak up, and I'm going to like have these conversations. And I had the conversation. And I also had like something happen with my manager. And normally I'm like the type of person where I'm like, I don't want to start nothing, and I don't want to be this person. Like I don't never want to be that person. But I actually pushed back, and I was just like, what is this? Like this doesn't make sense to me, or like I really pushed back. In both of those instances, like my manager told me, like, you know what? If you would have never asked me that question, like I would have never thought to approach it this way, and I would have never like realized that this was the issue. And then I had this meeting like literally just this morning with our whole like my office. Now we had a meeting with like our entire like support operations group, and like really talked about what was going on, and really came up with like some concrete things about how to fix it. And I just realized, like, I sat back at my desk, and I kind of got like, I was getting a little emotional because one, I realized like how much my job values my opinion. And two, I realized like how much I needed to speak up. Like what if I never would have said anything? Like we would have continued to be working in chaos. But now that I spoke up, we have these new systems in place. We're about to start having new monthly meetings. Like all these things happen only because I spoke up. And it wasn't like everybody like, picked me up and carried me on a chair. It was like, yes, Amber, she spoke up. But it wasn't anything. Like it was actually like, thank God the person I spoke with, he did it so low key that it kind of wasn't even like I did anything. It was just that, hey, we're getting some things in order. We're whipping everybody in shape. And now I really feel so much better. Like I honestly even feel better too if I am to leave this job, that at least my coworker won't have to work in that anymore. Like everything, like it really is like going to be a whole system haul, and I'm just so happy. Like I'm thinking about it, I'm even getting emotional because I'm just like, damn, like I could have said this shit 2 years ago. Like I could have said it 2 years ago and things would have been so much better. So I just asked you, like, what are you going through? Like, what is going on at your job? Like sometimes we think that, oh, well, I don't want to rock the boat, or I don't want to be this person. But honestly, like, if you're noticing it, it may be stuff that people didn't even know it was an issue. And that was like the repeated comment, like, oh, I assumed. And it's like, yeah, no. I know, like, don't assume nothing is going right. Like, don't assume. So that's how you got to start approaching it. Like, stand in your power. Like, recognize that you are not just there like you're not just there to just be there. Like any position that you are in, God strategically put you in those positions because obviously there's something that you're supposed to do there. Now, the key takeaway for this is people cannot be mind readers. Like my boss, like nobody can and you know what? My boyfriend say this to me all the time. Like, Amber, I cannot read your fucking mind. Like, you have to speak up. And that's a real big problem of mine. And it's something that I'm working on. But we have to realize, like, people are not mind readers. I don't know if you guys listen to the read, but honestly, Kid Fury was the reason why I wrote the letter to my dad, because he like went off one day and he was like, you walking around having a whole motherfucking attitude with somebody and they don't even know why the fuck you mad. They don't even know it's a problem. Like, he really went in and I really had to like look at myself like, yeah, like I don't even think my dad notices the issue. Like, and I think that's a lot of us. Like, we're carrying things from our childhood, or we're carrying things that happened to us a couple of years ago, and we're not telling these people. We're just like, oh, well, I'm not doing that no more. But how can somebody fix a problem if they don't even know about it? You know, like, you gotta give people a chance to make things right. And that was something that my dad said, like, well, you gotta give me a chance. And another thing he said, that if the person, if you're not willing to learn, you need to die. Like, if your person's not willing to grow and like try to get better, then maybe it's time for that relationship to go. And honestly, that happened. Like, all my letters didn't get responses back. And some of those letters did not get a response back. And to me, that was confirmation that was a relationship that just wasn't meant to keep going on. And sometimes that's the best thing, for you to realize, like, oh yeah, that's not the person for me. This is not who I thought it was. And that gives you just a little bit more peace of mind. So I think that the next thing is going to kind of roll into like some red flags, and just remembering that emotions are our friends. Like, I don't know if you guys read the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But in that book, that tastes good. Anyways, but in that book, Mark Manson, he said, like, he spoke about like how your emotions are just there to like kind of give you these triggers. Like, they're like, you can't lie to your emotions. You know, your emotions know your true self. So even if you think, like you think that, oh, I'm doing the right thing, but if you have those nagging feelings, or when you're feeling stuck, or when you feel powerless, or where you feel like used or taken advantage of, that's your emotions like trying to say, hey, girl, like, I'm trying to get your attention. And the best example that I can give you guys of this is, you know what? I'm not even going to go there yet. I want to go back. I have my notes, guys. So I told you this is my first time doing this. So I think a flag or an indicator for when you need to stand in your power, or when you may need to speak up, is when you're feeling powerless, or when you're feeling taken advantage of. Like, and a good test of this is having an emotions versus reasoning. So you have to ask yourself, like, am I being emotional? Like, it's kind of like going back to that is it true test. Like, make a list. Like, I'm not telling you to go in your job and be like, bitch, what the fuck? Like, don't go in there and do that. But I'm saying, like, do a test. Like, is my job honoring what I said, or is this person honoring how I feel? And if you realize that the scale isn't even, then you go ahead and move forward and you speak your truth. Yeah, very good article on Honestly Sis, because I gotta promote my shit. Two articles on Honestly Sis that talks about this topic is Who's Defining Your Happiness. That just talks a little bit about how sometimes we can find ourselves living out our parents' dreams and not our own, or not even your parents. You can find yourself doing things for your mate and not really for yourself. So, it's really important to always do kind of a checkpoint of where are you going, and who agenda are you following? Are you following your heart agenda, or are you following somebody else's agenda? And 9 times out of 10, when you're feeling unbalanced, or when you feeling a very good indicator is that if you're doing something and you just feel like, why the fuck am I doing this? That means you don't need to be doing it. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean you don't need to do it. Like, that's a really good indicator. So you really got to pay attention to your emotions. And then another good article on Honestly Sis is The Gospel According to Riri. Even though this kind of talks about relationships, it also goes into like just all about how Rihanna is just, I mean, she's the fucking blueprint. Like she's the blueprint. Like, she really carries herself, and to us, what I know of Robin, she really just seems like she stands up and she stands in her power, especially when it comes to niggas, and like she doesn't allow them to like sway her. A really good TV show, a really good example for a TV show that talks about the power of standing up and speaking the power of speaking your truth and standing your power is Black Monday. It's a show on Showtime with Don Cheadle and Regina motherfucking Hall. She is showing her ass off on the show. It's so good. And it got Elijah. I know his name not Elijah, but y'all know who I'm talking about. But anyways, the character Elijah, aka Blair, he started the episode like he is the man. He's the man on Wall Street. Everybody wants to hire him. And then he has this one incident with Don Cheadle, Maurice, and his shit is just like, boom. Like, this high that he went on is gone. So his girlfriend or his fiance, like, nigga, like, you can't just lose your stuff. She like, who are you? Go back and get your job. And he had to literally like go back in there and like stand in his power and be like, look, y'all, you took my job away from me. You took all my opportunities away. So that means I'm gonna be working in this motherfucker. And that's pretty much what happened. And by the end, he did end up working there. Some other shit happened, but we'll get there. So all of those are some really good things to kind of help you with like recognizing if you are not standing in your power, and then also to kind of give you some tools about how to stand in your power. All right, and then our last thing, and they kind of like tie together, standing in your power and remembering that your emotions are your friends. So when I graduated the Hampton University, I started off in public accounting. And honestly, guys, I thought that, it was something that I worked towards. I was so happy about this. This was the biggest checkpoint for me, that I was not living the life that I want, that I thought, how you realize that, you think that you are living the life for yourself, and then you actually get there and you're like, whoa, like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, this is not me. This is not nothing I want. And that's actually what ended up happening to me. I started my career in public accounting. And it was just, I swear, like, I think like everything that could go wrong went wrong while I was there. And it was just like it was my soul. Like, I literally felt like my soul was like crushing. Like, I knew that this was not for me. I knew that I could not do this anymore. Like, everything, like my body literally said no. And so I realized that how did I get here? Like, I recognized that this was so far from what I thought I would be doing. And I always thought, let me be honest. So I went to school for accounting, and I used to always do this. Like, I don't even know why I thought this was the stupidest thing. I used to do a lot of magical thinking. I used to be like, you know what? I'm gonna work in accounting, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go to California. I'm at the accounting firm, and then somebody gonna walk past the office and just see how amazing I am, and just like, girl, we need to get you into some movies. I really used to think that way. I'm so serious. I really used to think that way. And I just realized, like, your long-term goal was never to be in accounting. It was never to be in accounting. Never. So, you just gotta know, like, you can't lie to yourself. Our emotions know us better than we know ourselves. And even if you are finding yourself in that position, like, don't beat yourself up. First of all, I did that a lot. I beat myself up. I kept saying like, "Oh, I'm so stupid. I majored in the wrong thing." But everything happens for a reason. It just does. Like even when it doesn't make sense, everything happens for a reason. So don't beat yourself up. But what you do need to do is, now that you recognize that, you just need to you need to start figuring out how to get yourself back on track. Like, and it's not going to happen overnight. It is not going to be quick. And the first thing that you start doing is not going to be that. It may not be your passion, and it may not be that thing. You may have to find something else. You may fail at it. Like, you may have to keep trying. But that's the beauty of the journey. Like, that's what life is all about. Like, I thought it was all about just trying to get from this point to that point. Like, I literally was just like, okay, like, say for example, my book, like, I was just like, I gotta get published, I gotta get published, I gotta get published. But even the journey of writing my book and reading my book and submitting to this, like, it's a journey. And if I just stay so focused on like my end game, I wouldn't enjoy all this. Like, say this, honestly, sis was grown from the journey of me trying to complete my book. If I was so focused on just getting to the end goal, I wouldn't even be able to appreciate what I have. And I have something that is really, to me, I feel like it's really special. And now I'm saying that, I just want to say shout out to all of the contributors. I honestly sis, like, you guys always are like, "Oh, Amber, thank you so much." And I'm like, "No, bitch, thank you so much." Like, because y'all are like really helping me make my dreams a reality. And like, this didn't happen overnight. Like, I honestly just started off with me asking a question on Facebook, with me going ahead and figuring out MailChimp, and then opening it up to somebody. And it started with my little small group of friends and my little, like, it just, and over time it's growing, and I don't know where it's gonna go. And guess what? I don't care, because I am finally realizing that it's not about getting to a certain place. Like, that's why I didn't come on here, and I didn't want to be like, "And I'll see you next Monday." Like, I don't want to do that, because I just realized like that got me in trouble a lot. Like, I always have been this type of person that was like, "Oh, I gotta get here, I gotta get here, I gotta get here." And it's like, no, I'm changing it. I'm just going with the flow of life. Something told me that I needed to talk about this. So I'm talking about these things. If next week it says, "Okay, I have 3 more things I want you to talk about," then I will talk about those 3 more things next week. But if not, then like, is somebody gonna come find me and check me? Like, it's not gonna happen. So just know that you are in control of your life. Let me tell you this. You are the only one that's gonna die your life. Nobody gonna die for you. So why live it for somebody else? And if you scared of failing, if you scared of looking like a fool, guess what? The worst thing that can happen to you is that all of your dreams come true. With odds like that, like, why not try shit? The worst thing that can happen is all of your dreams can come true. Hear that. Hear me when I say that. The thing that you are so afraid to do, the worst thing that can happen is that it could be the best thing of your life. I hope that helps somebody. Let's get to the last thing, okay? Red flag. So I said our key takeaway is you can't lie to yourself. Our emotions, they know us better than we know ourselves, because they know our true selves. Our emotions are, I'm about to get deep. Boop, deep moment. Our emotions are tied to our soul. And our soul knows what we were come here. Our soul knows what we were here to do. And I'm going to tell you, the best test of if you are living the life that you were meant to live, I want you to think about what you used to do as a kid, what you used to spend all your time doing as a kid. And I want to think about what you do now. Is the thing that you used to do as a kid is the thing that you do now? How close are you to that? If they are like this and you feel that feeling, you're off track. That's the best test. Think about your childhood. Think about all the things you used to do. Say, for example, for me, the funniest thing is last December, I ran into a friend from middle school. And I told her, I was like, oh my God, guess what? I just finished my book. And she was like, Amber, you and them goddamn books. Like, she literally said that. And I don't even think she realized like how happy that made me. Because that made me realize like I am finally back on the right track. I am heading in the right direction. Like, because that's all I was. I still keep a book by me. But I used to eat, sleep, and breathe books. When I was in college, I don't even know when the last time I read a book. Just, you see? Quickest test. What did you do as a child? What are you doing right now? How far is the distance? All right. Very last thing. I have a red flag. If you repeatedly feel negative, I think I repeated this 1,000 times, but if you always feel negative or you always feel off after you leave a certain person or a certain place, that is a key indicator that either you are not supposed to be around that person or you are not supposed to be at that place. Listen to your emotions, please. Okay? Honestly, sis, we have an article about this. It's called How to Manifest Your Best Life. In that, I give you some real good tips. Like, and that's why they're so tied to each other. Like, our emotions and manifestation and vibrations and alignment, all of that shit has to go hand in hand. So if you are interested in trying to manifest some stuff, or you're interested in trying to attract some things in your life, you got to pay attention to your emotions, because they're going to let you know where you are and where you need to be. Last thing. A very good example of this is Insecure. I love Insecure so much. I think we all do. All Black girls do. But Insecure, remember that episode? I can't remember the episode number, but remember when the girl came to Issa's job and she was just like, oh, so like you like it, right? You've been here for 5 years? And she was just like, Issa didn't even realize that she was at this job she didn't like and she didn't have to be there. So definitely go back and look at the whole season 3 of Insecure. That'll really give you a good example about realizing when you are out of alignment and how to work your way back into alignment. So I hope you guys really enjoyed these 3, enjoyed this little quick segment. If you enjoyed it, please let me know. If you would like to see some more of this, let me know. I mean, I need encouragement. I'm just like everybody else. Please join me at the Honestly Sis newsletters. We would love for you to join the family. If you have a story that you would like to tell, please, we would love to have you. Last but not least, tell me. Guys, I really had to look at my notes like last but not least. But yeah, last but not least, please tell me your key takeaways. If there was something that you really you really liked or really touched your spirit, please let me know. Because like I said, that helps me, or that's going to encourage me to be like, let me do this again next week. So follow me at Honestly Am if you are not already following me, and join the Honestly Sis. I mean, honestly, guys, it's fun. It's not, I promise you, it's not all serious. Like I said, we just had some stuff about your one night stand. We had some other very serious things about why you shouldn't be waiting for some apology. We had a Me Too. Shout out to my girls. We just had a reason why women wait to tell. Like some really, really, really good topics. I just urge you, if you are trying to figure out this shit called life, go check out Honestly Sis. One thing that I do want to do that I actually wasn't going to do at first, but I don't know, it keep catching my eye. If you are serious about self-development and trying to make yourself better, I would really urge you to go first. If you are serious about trying to figure out this law of attraction, manifestation, all of that good stuff, I urge you to read Asking It Is Given. I actually got that book after Big Sean Breakfast Club interview, and that shit, it's amazing. It's honestly like the Bible for everything, for the law of attraction. And any other book you read is gonna pretty much be like a summary of that. But what I was gonna say is like if you're serious about like trying to make a habit of like getting better, just go pick up some get some like this card is really good. It's money. I struggle with I have money issues, clearly. It's money in the it's money in the law of attraction card. So grab these. I'm gonna actually pull one. I think they're all shuffled. I'm going to go ahead and pull one to just kind of end the video, just to give you something to, you know, go throughout your week with a word. May you have it. Spirit, is there anything that you would like to give our wonderful listeners of the Honestly Sis channel? Please make it plain and clear. Is there anything that you would like to get out? I thank you in advance. All right. I had a cut this thing pop out. Ooh. 2 of them. Okay. So the very first one is, I can earn money by doing what I love. I love this card. It makes me happy. All right. So here is the word. As you practice your more positive, better feeling story, in time, your pleasure will become the dominant vibration within you. And then as you couple your pleasure with your means of earning, the two will blend perfectly and enhance each other. There is no better way to earn money than to do things you love to do. Money can flow into your experience through endless avenues. It is not the choice of the craft that limits the money that flows, but only your attitude towards money. I feel like that was for me. Oh, that probably was for me. But that was a really good one. And the other card that came out was, nothing is more important than that I feel good. What? That's kind of crazy. That's exactly what I just talked about. See how spirit work? All right. Whenever you are feeling less than good, if you will, stop and say, nothing is more important than that I feel good. I want to find a real, hold on. Y'all, I can't read. I'm gonna start over. Whenever you are feeling less than good, if you will, stop and say, nothing is more important than that I feel good. I want to find a reason now to feel good. You will find an improved thought. Anytime you feel negative emotions, you are in the mode of resisting something that you want. And that resistance takes its toll on you. It takes its toll on your physical body, and it takes its toll on the amount of wonderful things that you are allowing to come into your experience. Oh, guys, that was like everything we just talked about. So I really hope those blessed you. Remember, nothing is more important than you feeling good and that you can earn money doing what you love. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening to this. If you made it to the end, just say namaste. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week. Bye.